shall be speaking about your experiences at the Red Cross. Would you like to share a few with us?
Yes. Of course, the same mentality I had at the government press I used in here as well. And it was the same type of leadership that I gave at the government press I gave at the Red Cross as well. But of course, at the Red Cross, because of the international exposure, the way that the management and how to handle things, the brainstorming and the mapping techniques, they were completely different to what we used to do in government service. And I feel that that is something that should be introduced to government service, because those countries, how they have achieved, up to what standard they have come, and where we are still at a very low level compared to how the standard that they have reached. The difference between two countries is the mentality of the people.
Right.
If the mentality changes,
we can make a difference.
Yes, you can make a difference. It's not in the assets. If you take a country like Singapore, there are no assets.
Pretty small country as well.
Yeah, it is the mentality of the people, the mindset of the people. So that is an area that we should look into. That is something that I learned at the Red Cross, the exposure that I had going to various countries, Geneva, USA, UK, and many other countries, even Asian countries, Malaysia. Vastly different to what I had at the government printing department.
So going back in time to maybe your schooling days, how was it like? Did you ever think that you will probably end up being government printer or something to do with that kind of industry?
Interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. You see, now everyone born to this world is born for a purpose.
True.
And to carry out that purpose, you are given a few inborn talents. You must identify what those talents are. Then your purpose will come out, right? And from my small days, I saw my interest in electronics and in psychology. I used my pocket money at St. Joseph's to go to, there are second-hand shops at the roundabout close to St. Joseph's where they sell books on psychology, on electronics. I used to buy those. A 12-year, 14-year boy buying psychology books, you very rarely see that. So, but I used to do that. I save my pocket money and buy psychology and electronics. And in addition to that, at St. Joseph's College, from the 6th standard, you have the option to select whether it's swimming or printing. There were about 4 subjects.
Right.
I don't know, my mind went into printing. 3 years I did printing there. So when they advertised for branch superintendents at the government press in 1971 with BSc degrees, I was the only one who knew printing because I had done printing. So that may be a part of my this thing. And if your work is in par with your inborn talents, then you will never be working. It becomes an enjoyment, and I think that is what happened to me. And I really enjoyed the time I spent at the government press, the work I did, because I never considered it as work. It was an enjoyment to me.
It was just
basically being part of life, I guess.
Yes,
exactly.
part of life.
Part
yes.
of life.
Yeah.
And talking of coming out of school, you joined the University of Ceylon, as it was called those days. Yeah. And then you graduated. Your postgraduate, you studied at UK and Netherlands as well.
That's right. Yes.
And again basically on the same lines.
Yes.
Industrial.
Well, of course, at the university I did science, chemistry, physics, and pure maths. Those were my 3 subjects. And in UK I did communications, print media. And in Netherlands, I did advanced management techniques, management research really, at the Delft University. So somewhat different, 3 different fields. But of course, it was my interest in electronics that made me computerize the printing department.
Right.
And in fact, there were no digital computers. It was the government printing department who was the first to do computerize the single language, right? And the Gessler's Hansards were issued using that digital singular text. And of course, what I noticed there is that with the change of technology, the computerizing, I saw from those days that the front end of printing, the front end of advertising, the front end of media, TV media, and even the film industry will one day going to be the same, the front end of it. So that is why I thought in 1984 I started what is called the Sri Lanka Institute of Printing to give training on printing subjects, advertising field, the marketing, print advertising, then about electronic media, and it was the big names in the printing industry who assisted me, because even though it went before the parliament and the act was approved by the parliament, it was subject to condition that no government money will be given to it.
Right.
But of course the private sector, because you have to do whatever to do successfully, you have to have a passion for it.
True.
And you have to have a team who have the same passion, right? And you'll be surprised to find that the people who did the lecturing for the first training session that we had was people like Reggie Kandappa, the chairman of Grants Advertising. So they had, with so much of work, they allocated their time. They allocated their time to teach the new generation. And today I am happy to say that that institute has grown to such an extent that we train about 1,000 students every year, and about 500 are school leavers who enter this industry, and they all find good employment in that industry. In the film industry as well, non-linear editing and subjects like that is now all computerized.
So you laid the foundation, and now it's apparently built up very well.
Yes, and now before I left in 2005, in 2004 I discussed with the Columbia University and affiliated with them to do the advanced diplomas also. And now anyone can go, just GCA level, can go up to MBA. You can get the MBA from the Columbia University, starting your life at the Sri Lanka Institute of Printing.
Okay.
So that's basically equivalent to a degree.
Exactly.
MBA is about a degree, the Master of Business Administration.
So
advanced diploma is equivalent to a degree.
So for everyone who's interested in this particular subject, printing, or maybe to do with industrial, getting into press or printing, or even for that matter electronic media, probably this is the way forward, because this has been there. Actually the institute has been there for the last 25 years or so.
1984.
Started off in 1984 and
anybody
moved a very long way.
As Mr. Nanayakkara mentioned, so there are about 1,000 students entering the institute every year. So if anybody is interested, there is a way for you to go forward on this particular line.
Anisha, and with that, let's go in for some music.